Great. Well, thank you, ladies, for meeting with me again. I just wanted to pop in and see, I know the week has been crazy for you guys over there, but if y'all were able to try any of the activities Valerie and I gave, and I wanted to just see if anything worked well or what didn't work well, any grows and glows. And then I can share some of my feedback I got from Miss Hahn and Miss.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's doing your class. So nice.
Yes. I know. Since I can't be there, I was like, well, let's just see how it's going. I gave Melinda your tip and trick because I just said I know it was very busy with everything y'all have coming up and going on. I asked her to do the memory game, the phonics, the pirate one, and how you said give everybody one and try to find your pair, your match.
Yes.
It went well. It was like a good little close, fast. She did say with our class that she had to go explain it a few times. And there was, of course, those friends that needed like a teacher near them or helping with the word. But that they had fun with it. And she was like, it's definitely that she could see working and being a little tool. So thank you for that tidbit.
Yeah.
But did you guys have anything?
So I was going to say, yeah, I had said when we met before that I was going to do that whole group and like go find and do the partner thing and everything. And Valerie got all excited. She's like, oh, that's so great. You're going to do that. And I didn't do that. I didn't. It has been a little bit crazy, but I will say that I took the cards from that pirate game and I kind of did a couple different things with it. So I was going to tell you that I liked the resources a lot that y'all gave because even though they came in like the game said do this or do that, like you can use them in different ways. So one thing that I was going to share that I did, and I'll just kind of tell you two real quick, but one, I have my one kid who is ESOL and special ed, and a lot of times he comes over and he doesn't interact a whole lot with the rest of the class, and he sits at my table until it's time for us to do reading. There's like a little bit of in between time or whatever. And it was so cute the other day that we had a minute of free time. Our kids were doing something on the laptop. And I said, do you want to do something on the laptop or do you want to play a game with me? And he was like, game. So, we did that. And then even today we came and did it again. Like he'll see the cards and he'll go game. So, so one thing that I did was I took some of the cards and I like cut them apart and like they start with like they were supposed to be maybe matching or whatever. But I had index cards and on one index card I put like an L and then an M, N, P, R, and I cut apart the cards and I had him sort them into like the beginning letters. So he put like all the ones that started with an L, he lined up, under the L. So he had to recognize the beginning letters. So we did that. And then after he had them like kind of all lined up, beginning letters, same, whatever. Then I kind of asked him some questions and I was like, point to a word that has an A in the middle. And it didn't matter what the beginning letter was. He would kind of look around and he would find and identify. So and then we did the same thing with like ending letters, or then I would point to one and I would say, what does this letter say? So it was really kind of like a good chance to do some one-on-one, kind of like, and he knows his letters and he knows sounds, but then to like transfer it and to do it here, I think it was good. And plus he liked it. And then a couple of them like are rhyming. So then I would point that out and I would be like, okay, point to the two words that have the same ending. And we would talk about them, in rhyming and practice like the whole, sounding out kind of thing. So he did really like that. The other time that I used the same cards and kind of did the same thing, but kind of did it more as like a matching or a memory game. At the end of the day, we always put on like some kind of show or something at the end of the day when they're kind of just packing up and being quiet. And there are like 4 or 5 of them that now come to my desk and they always want one of my little phonics games. And I have the one Sherry, we did this with ours too, where you had the magnetic wand and the magnetic letters. But so I gave them the cards from this, and kind of had them just play kind of some games with this. So I think that they really liked it, and it's beneficial because one, it's something new. Two, it's a game, and anything that's like game like they are totally into. And so I think that it's reinforcing lots of the skills and in a fun way and something that they're like engaged with. So I really like this a lot. And I didn't even use it like where we did the games, like where it was like if they drew a card, then they had to like lose a turn or
And I
go
think for
forward.
our kids, that's kind of needed. Like
Yes.
you do have to do a lot of like taking and then kind of changing it up a little bit, doing
Yeah.
it for small group or even a one-on-one just because of our students. Like
Yes.
some of our kids would be really hurt to lose a turn and it might disrupt the entire game.
Yes.
So
That
Yeah.
last year, and funny enough, it ended up, tying into a whole lesson because I, as a kid, was such a bad sore loser, and those kind of, like, I hated losing a turn, and it came about when, I had a little kid who had a meltdown when he lost a turn, and so then we had to talk about what it's okay to, like, it's okay to lose turns, to lose things, and let's not be a sore loser. But it made me think, like, if I had a certain dynamic group, taking those cards out, which I think I mentioned that last time, that some of the cards I just take them out, but I do like that you were able to tie it in with rhyming. I just made a note of that because since I haven't been there to keep looking at UFly, I know they don't really talk, like, they don't hone in on rhyming or like word families. Did they ever get to that, like word families, or no? Is it more just still the decoding, like fully words?
I mean, it is some of the decoding, but like even what we did today with the blending board, like we were making words, like we made dishes. And then like I think I brought up like one of the words that UFly had was not wishes, but it made me think. So I was like, what's a word that rhymes with dishes? So you kind of can tie it all.
It's not quite like what
in.
we think of as word families, like how we used to teach it, like an actual, here's the house and here's the family that lives in the house. And these are the words that come over. And
that's what I noticed when I tried just looking ahead, because, I stopped on whatever lesson we were on when I left, but I like that you were able to tie it in with rhyming, because that's what I've had to do anytime I'm playing any game, just hitting up those other standards that UFly doesn't technically like cover. And I feel like a lot of our rhyming words and those games have a lot of word families in them. So talk about it. And then you made me think of something when you were talking about the wands. Remind me here. I'll send you, I have these like little, they're also magic wands. I'll send them to y'all that like the kids love, because they just love holding something. I love that you talked about into a game. I'm like still learning, and all it is a piece of paper that is a wand.
Right.
So I did that. I wonder if it's the same thing. Like I did that, and I used popsicle sticks, and I laminated their stars with the E on them, and then we did it, and it was kind of like you touch the word and then put it at the end, and they do love that.
Yes, like those old fly swatter games, like when you used to play high frequency words, and they would swat the word. Just anything when you turn it into a game. So I love that. Love that story. Thank you for sharing, Valerie. I know you're here, so if you have anything to touch on, but if not, Sherry, do you have anything? Were y'all able to?
Yes, I actually looked up the Mr. Ravo YouTube channel and found their Magic E Words video, and we played that last week. And for a minute, the kids were like, what even is this? But then they loved it. So I was like, oh, I love that, because it's different than Jack Hartman. It's, it's not that we don't love Jack. It's just something new and different that they enjoyed. So we did that. And then I worked with my, my really striving readers with the nonsense words, because I noticed during the core phonics assessment on the nonsense words section, they would try to make it a word that made sense to them. So we use those cards to practice. Like, it's not always going to sound like a real word. So we had to really, we use those. And I thought that was good for them to just kind of understand, no, it's not a real word, and you don't have to make it sound like a real word. It's a nonsense word.
I love that you mentioned that, because I saw that too with our nonsense, especially some of our students, like our special ed students who are higher, and they want to make it a word. They want to make it make sense. And I like what you just said. Yeah, we have to make sure that they understand there really is a reason for the nonsense words to teach them.
And I
for
think
sure.
kind of ties back into Amira just at the very beginning of the year, which I mean, I think they still technically have to do it. You know, at the very beginning when it's like V, vu, vum, just like there's some words. I think it's silly, but then you can kind of tie it in. Remember when you're saying those random words like for a reason? But I know y'all guys give it again. What, or it's due May 9th?
It's due. I gave it when I was doing progress reports because I was like, well, I have to do it anyway. So I have to assess these kids for their letters. But I also know it ties into our UFly if you do the blending boards, you know, it's like change your, you know, this letter to that. And sometimes it'll change it to a nonsense word. So just to kind of reinforce that, like, maybe we're doing it with blending boards. So we need to know nonsense words can be, you know, used in different ways.
Yeah. Well, I feel like this was all good. I know like the team has been so busy, but thank you guys for meeting with me every time and for Valerie as well. But I think this will be good information that we can give starting next year.
Yeah. That's what I think is like, it was fun to use it now, but like now, like knowing what it is and ready, it's going to be really helpful next year. So,
I mean, I love how many resources we have, but I also think it can become overwhelming. So now we can be like, hey guys, these ones we know worked or didn't work, or here's some things that Valerie, Melinda said were really well, or Sherry said went well with her class too. So we can kind of limit it, because I know I spend so many hours just downloading everything to look and this, you know, so we can cut out that little middle. But well, thank you guys so much, and good luck.
We miss you.
We miss you.
I'm coming the 15th. I'll be there the 15th.
Oh, nice. Yay.
Yay. I made Benji take off work. I was like, I'm going to need somebody, just because, y'all, I love him, but he's a lot of work. I was like, I need you in case he's having a freak out that you can leave and I can stay.
Luckily they're so cute. That's why I think that's why they're made so cute, is because they are a handful. It's a lot.
So he's so cute and he's been so fun, but I don't know what it is. I think it's the teacher in me. Like, I feel like he's a reflection of me. So when he's crying, I'm like, oh my God, we got to make it stop. My mom's like, he's 7 weeks old, Allie. He's allowed to cry for 5 minutes. God, you know, forgive him. But anyway, I'm excited to see you guys. So
for sure.
Excited to see you. So
I know. Well, go enjoy y'all's day.
All right. Have a good rest of your day. Nice to see you.
Bye. Bye.